Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Batman Arkham Knight. And we're gonna go attack some tanks, because this is the return of Tank Man. And I apologize about the lack of videos right now. The house is half packed from what I saw upstairs. The office, all the games and stuff are in bins.
I won't let them threaten this city.
Yeah, well, you didn't do a very good job protecting this city. So, I mean, it's so surreal to go upstairs to see, like, the walls all barren again and things like that. I'm not used to this, but it's gonna be a new adventure, this new place in Pennsylvania, so. But anyway, a lot of you have been asking us to do some other things, and Amber will be back to do some other videos. We plan on finishing this week the Nightfall Protocol and the Riddler stuff. I only have about, probably 100 or so riddles left. Maybe less, I forget. But I needed to do something a little bit different other than lore videos and things like that, so let's take these guys down.
Tanks on the move, sir. Good luck.
I don't need luck when there's tanks. What do you mean missile lock already? Jerk. There we go. So, I mean, I got on a heated debate with this one guy on the Arkham forums, where I'm apparently a pretty active member now, all because I was trying to get the Zuranar skin and things like that. But we were discussing the Tankmobile, and he didn't really like what I had to say about it. Like when I said that at least 80% of the game, if not more, was just the tank. And that, you know, has to do with the riddle puzzles and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, he was like, well, I'll just play it for myself and I'll see that you're completely wrong. It's like, no, I'm not wrong. There's so much tank. Thank goodness that we're almost done with this game. And I've been getting a lot of requests on Twitter, too, if we're gonna do New Game Plus. Probably not until the end of the month. I really, really want to start Godzilla and some of the other games that we've had for the Let's Play channel. And after I get my office done in the downstairs, which is kind of like, we have two offices in one. We do most of our principal recording, like right here in the living room on my 60-inch. And then upstairs we have like 2 or 3 computers and the capture device for the 3DS and tablets, and, you know, everything's all nice and organized and pristine up there, or was. Now everything's in boxes. This is just crazy. Still amazed by that. But I plan on we'll probably be covering like the Batman DLC and some other stuff at hotels, because our move-in date is August 15th, but I have to hire a moving company to handle like the really big furniture and things like that, and we're gonna make several trips down, bringing our clothes first on the 15th, and then we're going to probably do some of the office stuff the next time we drive up. But I have to go to New York City for some business this following week, but we're not staying in this city. What we're going to be doing is going to a press event.
Exposed. I can use the power winch to trigger a controlled explosion.
So I'm just going to kind of go to the event with Amber, and then we'll probably drive to Pennsylvania and start getting stuff ready for the house. Ordering bed, all kinds of fun stuff. Because one thing Amber's really excited about.
Done, sir, as ever.
You're welcome, Alfred.
The Arkham Knight was wrong. It's not about brute force, not about numbers. To beat the Bat, you just gotta be good enough.
Yeah, and you're not good enough, Slade. I'm sorry, but you're not.
There's an explosive in the Port Adams container yard.
So let's go take it out.
Operation.
They won't make it easy for you, Master Bruce.
They can't stop me because I'm Tank Man. And Tank Man always wins. Ow. Except in that respect.
Establishing the remote link now, sir. Reinforcements are imminent. Master Bruce, the militia has moved a sizable heavy armor unit towards your location.
So if you guys were wondering about like what's going on with the Let's Play channel, we haven't really had time to do anything yet because there's just so much stuff going on. And the Arkham stuff was priority for us this summer because it was supposed to be the big hit, you know, item that everybody was going to be playing. And in August, we're going to have the Disney Infinity stuff going. and over on that channel. And then for this channel, at least till December, it's going to be mostly Arkham content. Although for about I would say maybe about a week or so, you might only get one video a week for a while, just because the game is going to be finished today and tomorrow. I'm going to record a couple of these tank episodes, because there's really... You've seen so much of the tank anyway, I think you can handle just me. And then when we get to the Riddler stuff, I'm actually going to need Amber to help me out, because it's just... I tried to do some of that stuff on the live stream, and it's not that it was difficult, it just took me a while to think about things. Because everybody has a different way of thinking and stuff like that, so it's just easier when Amber helps me out in that respect, so I can focus on gameplay and not so much trying to remember everything that I see on screen and things like that. No, you're not gonna get me. Return of Tankman. Tankman returns. Die!
Lost the diamond.
You're gonna lose a lot more than diamonds. You're gonna lose everything, Pally.
Offline.
Yeah, everything is offline. So, the other day, I was watching Teen Titans, and I was really excited, like the Teen Titans Go, because I actually thought they were gonna do something a little bit different. There was an episode called The Return of Slade, and in it, the Titans were gonna fight Slade, and Slade was coming back, and it was gonna be this epic thing. And it turns out, all you see is Slade's mask, and they tell you of this amazing recap that they had, but nothing happened. It's like, what? You can't do that. And Robin and Starfire are like, oh yeah, we totally kissed, and, you know, there was a lot of subplots and main plots and friendships, and it was amazing. And you know they're just, like, trolling people based on what Teen Titans used to be, and it's just like, no, you don't have to do that. It's messed up. But it was a really funny episode, though, because it had to do with, clowns. And I hate clowns with passion, and so does Starfire, apparently. So the episode was just hilarious, seeing Starfire terrified of clowns. Here you have this, you know, Tamarinian warrior, you know, the princess of her people, like this warrior princess, and she's terrified of clowns. And to the point where it was just hilarious. And I don't watch Teen Titans Go that much, but when I do, I'm glad that I'm able to find at least an episode or two that's pretty funny.
Payload is exposed. I can use the power winch to trigger a controlled explosion.
Let's do this! Whoops. Whoops. Come on, focus! 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 Oh yeah!
3 bombs remaining. I won't leave them operational.
What's the idea?
Pure firepower helps, Batman, but it's no match for skill.
They really let people down with Slade in this game. Tremendously.
Alfred, there's an explosive located in Riker Heights.
They'll send reinforcements, sir. Good luck.
Excuse me. So, aside from my life being lived in boxes right now, I'm really disappointed with something. I was gonna do a full video on it, but I'll probably just talk about it here. I bought the Arkham book, the Ultimate Arkham Guide,
Beginning hack in 3,
and
2, drones inbound, sir.
it is an absolute waste of money. Like, it is terrible. It is not the definitive source of information for all things Arkham. It is terrible fan fiction. And this is supposed to be an official product from Rocksteady and WB, and it's terrible. It's 200 pages of nonsense. They also had the definitive Arkham timeline, which is more screwed up than anything that I've ever read. In fact, after the principle of the storyline is done with Batman Arkham Origins and Blackgate, and then it goes into Asylum, before it gets into Asylum, they say that during Joker's time out of Blackgate, that Oracle was crippled, and all this stuff happened, yet it never mentions any time that Dick Grayson became a Robin, Tim Drake, Jason Todd being kidnapped, Batman meeting up with all these other villains, like Poison Ivy for the first time. It doesn't do anything. And you're just like, how is that even possible? But that's what the book is. It's complete nonsense. It also gets some major things from Arkham City wrong. And you're just scratching your head like, I paid $40 for this book. This was supposed to be, you know, something that would actually finally, you know, help make sense of everything. And those of you that bought the collector's edition of the Batman Guide, that nice hardcover book where at the end it teases this amazing, you know, book of information, it's such a letdown. It's more of a letdown than Arkham Knight was, like the game, the package as a whole, the storyline. It messes up everything even more, and it doesn't include any of the storylines or the fact that characters are returning in the Season of Infamy. Like, it doesn't have the Batgirl DLC, it doesn't have Arkham City Lockdown, which is part of the Arkham canon. The only thing that it has from Lockdown...
I can use the power winch to trigger a controlled explosion.
Yeah, whatever, Batman. So the only thing it has from Lockdown is when Batman met Slade again before Arkham City. And if you don't know what Arkham City Lockdown is, it was a tablet game.
No one holds Gotham hostage.
Well, no one gets away with it, sir.
That's right. Nobody gets away with holding Gotham hostage.
I once took out 60-80s with an RPG, 2 shells, and a punctured lung.
Whoa. Wasn't reacting to Slade stuff. The game was kind of freaking out on me a little bit. But no, the book is just... Oh, it's so annoying. I mean, it is rant-worthy, but it's like just a disappointment factor. It's like, here you know you have all these loyal fans that want some kind of concise storytelling, and, you know, they want to understand the universe that Rocksteady and WB Games Montreal has created, but the book is garbage. You know, I can't even use the thing for a paperweight. I might even just give it away, because it doesn't do anything.
The militia's determined not to lose anymore.
All the more reason to take them, sir.
If you read that book trying to figure out the Arkham like stuff, you're gonna go crazy, because it's terrible. It makes no sense whatsoever. It is the biggest jumbled mess that I've ever seen, like, from, you know, a respected company. So I'm just still so angry about that. I read the entire book last night, and I wish I hadn't, because it's just full of contradictions. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. One big contradiction, I'll tell you this right now. Remember in Arkham City...
Enemy tanks incoming, sir.
Yeah, enemy tanks, I'm gonna have to deal with my frustration. Do you remember how in Arkham City, the Robin DLC, where he has to fight Black Mask in the subway and then the abandoned meat factory or whatever? Well, basically in the book, this beautiful hardcover book, The Ultimate Arkham Guide, they say that Nightwing was the one who took down Black Mask, and he also did some other stuff that was Robin in the Paul Dini storyline, not the Arkham Unhinged stuff. I'm talking about the Paul Dini books, which are considered canon. And they just made a travesty of everything. I'm still completely shocked by it. The only things that they got right was the origin stuff, like Catwoman, you know, meeting up Batman at the first time at Blackgate, and, you know, her working with Amanda Waller and the Suicide Squad and things like that. So, I mean, everything after Origins and Blackgate, like, is a complete mess. It's just all that. And the thing that I loved about the Arkham games is when you collect, like, little story pieces. You know, during the Riddler stuff, you get, like, a little bit more story when you scan landmarks for different characters, and they fill in the gap for certain stuff. None of that stuff from Arkham Origins, Arkham City, or Arkham Knight is included in this book. So it's almost like a Batman book for dummies, yet if you read it, you're gonna be stupid. So I don't really understand why they went through the time to doing this and why they hyped this book up, because it's just a complete waste of time. Like, period. So, but, yeah, like I said, I was gonna make a rant video, but, I don't think people would, I don't know. I don't really feel like doing rant videos for a while because of, some of the incompetence of the people who were replying, that I don't know, I don't feel like doing it. The only vlog that I can think of that we're doing currently, because people on the Let's Play channel wanted to see, is we've been, every day that we do a little bit of packing, I film a little bit to show, you know, what it's like to pack up your house, which it seems like kind of odd, but when you throw the thing together, it's like, wow, I packed up the house really quick, when in reality it took me almost 2 weeks. Yeah, you're going for the kill. And I'm using my minigun on you, sucker. Come on, go down.
Direct hit on Rattler.
Direct hit on your face! Oh, you done. Tank man, with a vengeance.
I can use the power winch to trigger a controlled explosion.
Okay, Bruce. How many times you gotta tell me that, bro? The only good thing about the book, I will say this, is there's a wonderful story written by Kevin Conroy in the book.
One explosive device left to deal with.
that talks about...
His grip on Gotham is loosening.
Just missing a few racing stripes.
Oh, he's talking about my car.
I'm going to search for the militia's explosives deployed around the city.
Oh no! I thought I had them all. Oh no! Oh crap! Well, that's gonna throw things off. Don't worry, we'll find something to do. But I love that there's actually a foreword from Kevin Conroy in a story about how when he was recording Batman the Animated Series, the first season or second season, this guy came up to him in a parking lot, like it was either in New York City or somewhere else, and Kevin thought he was going to be mugged, and this guy comes up to him and he's like, "You're Batman, right?" And keep in mind, this was back when voice actors were not really recognizable, you know, so that's the type of impact that Batman the Animated Series had on this young man's life. You know, he was wearing a hoodie and he's talking to Kevin Conroy at 5 a.m. in this abandoned, you know, garage somewhere in New York City or something. And all he wants Kevin to do is, you know, Kevin thinks he's going to be shaked up for money. You know, it's a shakedown. He's going to be mugged. And he's getting kind of nervous. And he's like, "How do you know who I am?" Because the guy just said, "I know you're Batman." And Kevin's like, "Whoa, this is crazy," right? We could do that.
The militia have established a watchtower on the City Vision building. Time to remind them the high ground is taken.
I should warn you, sir, they appear to be heavily armed.
I'm heavily armed. But anyway, back to my story. So Kevin is freaking out because this kid knows who he is, and voice actors are not well known back then. Very few people would even have, like, you know, actor shots of the people who were voicing this stuff. It's not like the internet really had pictures back in 1994, 1995. You know, to that extent, it would just be information about who the guy is or whatever. And even that was limited. I remember on the internet, there really wasn't that much information in the early days, especially for TV shows and things like that. It was kind of a jumbled mess, like the early internet. But this guy obviously knew who Kevin was. And, you know, Kevin's getting ready to reach for his wallet, but his wallet's in the car, so he's slowly making his way to the car, and the guy's just like, "Can you do it? Can you do the voice?" And Kevin's just like, "What? That's what you want?" He's like, "It would totally make my day if you could do the voice." And so Kevin, in this, you know, vehicle parking lot in New York City, uses his booming voice, and, you know, he does the line, "I am vengeance," and the guy's like, "Yeah, this is so awesome! I am the Knight! I am Batman!" And, you know, the guy's just like, "Whoa! You know, this is so cool," and he's like, "Thank you so much, you made my day," and Kevin's like, "Well, you know, your day's not over yet," and he's reaching for his wallet and he's gonna pay the guy because he feels like, you know, he has to give him something, and he's like, no, I'm not taking Batman's money. And Kevin, in his Batman voice, he says, "You are taking my money because it'll show that Batman's cheap if I don't." And then on his way back to California to do, I think it was probably the third season, or maybe they were filming a movie, he was talking to Andrea Romano, the voice director, and he was telling her this story, and she's like, "Great, that's fantastic that we're, you know, getting popular," and things like that. And if you're wondering how this guy even knew who Batman was, he used to watch the animated series on Circuit City televisions that they had, like, right out on Manhattan Square or something like that. They would actually have the animated series playing, like, this Circuit City. So that's how this young man was able to come in contact with Batman, and he was so fascinated with it, he wanted to learn who Batman was, because, you know, he would see Batman played by Kevin Conroy. He obviously looked him up and then ran into him at the garage. But, I mean, it's just a great story because it shows the impact that Batman had, you know, on not just kids, but also adults and young people and old people. It is a non-age demographic show, and it's something that just speaks to everybody. And I'm sure everybody has their own Batman animated series story, but personally, I thought when Kevin was going to talk about
explosives deployed around the city,
something in the
time to hunt them down,
like in the forwarding thing, I thought he would talk about his 9/11 story, which everybody's heard. So I was pretty excited to read it, and that was the only thing that was good about the book. Like, that was the only thing that was decent. Everything else about the book was just stupid, and just like I was face palming and cringing and had like, Amber was like, why do you have this look of pain when you're reading a book? I'm like, it's so bad. It has nothing from the Arkham Knight prequel comics, has nothing from the Dini comics, has nothing from the storyline that's in the game that you can get, like stuff that how Robin first came about, and you know, I'm just, maybe they're doing that so it can lead into more prequels or something like that, but it's really annoying. It's like, okay, what are you doing, Warner Brothers? I just don't. But I'm gonna put the book in the description. You guys can check it out for yourself if you want to, but I highly advise you do not. This is not worth the money. And the only reason I'm telling people this is because I really don't want people to be as disappointed as I was. I mean, here I thought I would actually become an expert on the Arkham stuff, and it's like, the Arkham stuff is just a mess. The only way that you would become an expert is go back into Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, complete the game 100%, and read every little piece of information that you can, and then put it on Wikipedia or a Batman forum site, and just create your own chronology for Batman. That'd be the only way you could do it, because this book, it doesn't help. And you also get more information. Like, so, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You've still got a lot to prove, Batman. I only fight the best.
I got nothing to prove. Because I'm Batman. But, I think that's gonna wrap things up here. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry things are a little bit different right now. There's not gonna be a ton of content, for the time being. Like I said, going to New York City, Wednesday, I have some business to take care of. And then I have to go to my new house on the 14th. And I'm gonna be driving back and forth, between Pennsylvania and New York. Or Pennsylvania and Massachusetts. And then gonna be doing some other stuff, hiring a moving company to get rid of the big furniture, and it's just gonna be, my life is gonna be in shambles for a while, but I really appreciate you guys and gals taking the time to watch. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow with more of the Tank Man Returns. Bye-bye!